Hello. Hello. Ooh, you're so angry. So we have so much to discuss this week. We have Potomac, we got New York, and we also have Beverly Hills. We're talking about a fallen housewife. We're going to talk about no Ramona pooping on the floor this episode. How about that one? We also have Ashley brought a baby to a fight. And ooh, you're so angry, Denise. Okay, so let's keep on talking. Let's bring them in. The girls. There they are. It's Ms. Neltron Debated. And for real, that's that girl who had cigarettes in the bathroom, and that would be Nelson. And then we also got Mr. Gunther Vanderpump. How you doing? How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, okay, so these two are working ladies, so they're both a little bit exhausted. And I've actually been putting in some time this week as well. So like we don't even have I don't have crazy notes, you guys. I have very, very minimals. Oh, we got a hello from Alexis. Hi. Hi, Alexis. How are you doing today? I hope you are keeping yourself nice and cool. Oh, she lived in Louisiana. I think she did. I hope you're okay. Louisiana got wiped off again. But anyways, okay, let's get into happier subjects. Let's talk about the housewives. But before we get into it completely, we have to admit something. We should talk about something very serious. We have a fallen housewife, you guys.
So sad.
So, oh, and it says housewife. Anyways, we did not have copy checkers because it's a one-man show. Okay. So anyways, our fallen housewife, Miss Dorinda A. Medley. And I don't even know if her middle name is A, but I'm just going to say it. Like Vivica A. Fox. So Dorinda A. Medley is no longer on RHONY. But there's so much controversy around this. So you guys have kind of seen this. So there was there was a Page 6 article that came out saying that she got fired. And so basically, or she was not being renewed. And so Dorinda got out in front of it and just tried to act like she quit. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't really care because New York's not my favorite franchise. So I'm like, okay, bye. Bye, girl.
You really have come in on a bad season for her too. If you would have came in season 5, season 6, you would have been like, Dorinda is badass because she had some real good moments in the past. And the thing is, it's really sad to see the demise of a housewife. I mean, we haven't seen a fall this big since Siggy Flicker, maybe. You know what I mean? Somebody who was beloved and then crashed and burned. You know what I mean? One season. Leanne Locken, same thing. Beloved housewife. Everybody loved her. People were feeling her. And then they do something. They snap around. They turn around on you. And that's kind of what happened to Dorinda. And I have a feeling she got belligerent probably at the reunion. And they probably couldn't get a word in edgewise with her, that kind of a thing. So I just have a feeling that's kind of what's happened with her. It's all conjecture. We'll see we'll see. Except for those ads, you guys, that they're running in the show, the one of all the housewives all in their different Zooms, and they're like, "Oh, the girl from Salt Lake City," and it's real Dorinda heavy, that ad, and it's so awkward.
Well, don't they also have Kenya too? And isn't Kenya not on Atlanta right now, or she didn't get signed to come back?
I don't know. There's a rumor about that, but they haven't really said, and it might mean that Kenya might be she might take the backseat role and just be a friend of. You know what I mean?
They probably filmed that ad before they fired people. So.
Yeah, I mean, some people think that she might come back a la Luann, but I don't think. I think Dorinda's done. She's a little bit older, and I think if it shows us anything, is that with what's happening in the world, the more wokeness and all that kind of a thing, and that we have a character like Leah on who's young, I think it's going to usher in this younger housewife that's going to come in over on New York. I think they'll keep a couple. I think, if anything, they'll keep Luann and Sonja. They probably are going to let Ramona go. There's been that whole thing too, because I know that was also something that people were talking about, is that you pointed it out, Gunther, when you sent over the text message, and you had said that Ramona had taken it off, taken RHONY off of her Instagram profile, for those of you guys tuning in. So Ramona had taken that off her profile, and then an hour later, it was back up on. And so some people feel that she maybe jumped the gun. Maybe it was something that happened. Who knows?
I feel like all the girls do that though, because remember even last year with Erica Jane, after they were done filming, Erica Jane took everything related to Housewives off her Instagram and social medias as well. So I think maybe they just give themselves a break. I don't know.
I feel like it's a way of when they're negotiating, like they're like, "Hey, this is a big fuck you. I'm gonna take this off right now and give me more money, and then I'll put it back on."
I think that you might be right on that. And the thing is and Ramona isn't a terribly overpriced housewife in the franchises when you look at them. I know and our text, see, we gotta start showing our text messages, because the thing is like, I know
don't show the receipts.
No, but I know that I had done a little bit of research before, because when we had been talking a little bit about the whole Denise of it all, and was she signed for a year-to-year contract? Does she have a 3-year? Does she have a 4-year? Yeah. It's believed that Denise has a 4-year contract. She gets $1 million for each year that she's on, which is why we'll get into this in a little bit about the whole Beverly Hills of it all, that Denise came back to shoot the last scenes because she didn't get that check. You got to complete the season, girl. So I think it's a little bit of that, but I think that there's Ramona. She's been on the show now 12 years. She's going into year 13.
She's one of the OGs, right?
She is an OG for this series. And New York was the second franchise that came out after OC. So she's been on TV for 12 years. We've had Ramona for 12 years.
I think we're done with her. She's not really engaged with the group either. She always leaves all the time. She always is this. She's weird, I think, because like there's moments where she loves the girls and there's moments where she hates them, and it's like, where are these feelings coming from? Like, I don't know. She seems like she's a liability most of the time. So I think get rid of her.
I think the problem is Ramona wanted things to go away, her way, with no Bethany being involved. You know what I mean? I think there was a bit of Ramona thinking she could be mother hen, because in the beginning of the season, remember, we were talking about Ramona, that she was just great. You know what I mean? She was wonderful. And then all of a sudden, like, it turned, and like, you know, when she was vulnerable and wanted a man, and all of a sudden she decided, I don't want a man, and then she became a monster again. And she, at first, it seemed like she was going to take that matron role, the tethered one, the one who was actually, you know, in touch with reality. And she fooled us. Ramona really fooled us after those first 3 episodes. Like, and then she swung, and then it just kind of went to this crazy place. But so I don't know. I think that they might keep her because Ramona does play the game.
I think they're going to keep her for at least one more season, because you have all this Elise drama that is still up in the air that they can totally play off of. And now, if you watch the Instagrams, Leah and Elise are like this. And that would give those two a coupling to gang up on Ramona together. And so that's a whole season right there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into, let's break right into New York, because we're there right now. So we're going to bounce around because that's what we're going to do today. It's one of those kind of shows. So it's going to be fun and lively. So buckle your seats. Okay. So, belts. Anyways, so let's talk about this. The whole RHONY situation, it was kind of like in the early part of the episode was just all the girls getting ready. They're showing Christmas a little bit in each person's house. Luann, there's nothing like taking a nap in front of a Christmas tree. So, but the mob party of it all. So let's go right into Elise in this whole situation. So Elise is isn't invited, but I think where I was talking about just a second ago is that this younger thing that's going to go in, and with Leah being kind of an anchor of the show, she's a first season housewife that did very well. The public likes her, and she's become a fan favorite already. So I think there might be a chance that we might be seeing her sister become a character. She's gunning hard for this.
Yeah, I see that too. Like they were very heavy on her sister this whole season, actually. Like she came on a trip. They just did a lot of scenes together too, so I could totally see them. She does seem kind of blah to me though. Like she doesn't seem that interesting. I think
she feels like she's it's the hair, it's the Emily Goth girl hair, and I think it's a little bit
glow up.
Yeah,
but she's a brand new mom. She hasn't really left the house, so I think that might be part of it. But what she did.
But you're on TV, fix that.
Yeah. but she did the right thing of being a housewife sister, that she pushed the housewife narrative. You know what I mean? Like she just kind of opened up Leah's thing with her mom, told her about her mom doesn't like her and all that kind of a thing. So that could be interesting to see, like a Teresa, what's her name? What's Teresa's sister-in-law?
Melissa.
Yeah, Teresa, Melissa, kind of a situation where when they're not both on the show, Teresa was fine, and as soon as she got signed on, it became like all hell broke loose because Melissa became a breakout. And so what if that happens with Leah's sister? You know what I mean? Like that her sister might kind of come in and kind of wreck some stuff up and be a little bit more normal. She's a little bit more grounded, so she might steal a little bit of her fun. I'm here for it. So I'm looking to see like what is RHONY gonna do now that they only have 5 characters and they just killed one.
I mean, Luann's storyline at this point is just so boring. Like she's so cabaret. That's all it is. Like singing "Happy Birthday" on a microphone. Like I'm over Luann. Like she can go. Like
okay, but so we have Dorinda's final New York birthday party, right?
Yeah.
And so these are they usually celebrate this one in the Berkshires at her house. You know, the cake. She put her cake in the face. You know, you all better behave yourselves. I cooked, I cleaned, I made it nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's all that we have.
Go.
Yeah, so Dorinda's had these epic birthdays that we've always had moments. And out of this birthday, we get Luann drunk on a mic. Like Luann pulled a mic out of nowhere. And then she just starts giving this speech that nobody asked her for.
Yeah.
It really had nothing to do with Dorinda. She was just like, hey, I haven't been on a mic in a while, so let's talk. Ladies. Like, you know what I mean? It was a stand-up set from the 80s.
And then there's no cake being brought out. Like, and she just starts singing. Like, where's the cake?
There was no happy birthday to you. Like, and you're like,
it was so creepy.
It was cue the cake, but there was no cake. I love that you pointed that out. There was no cake, and she just starts singing happy birthday. She was like, she probably had that mic in her purse and just was like, here, take the line. Plug it in. You know what I mean? Like, she called ahead. Are you guys prepped for sound? Because I have a microphone. Like, so much of that. Okay. The whole Leah, I didn't really get why Leah was having a party, and then it was like, oh, 15-year anniversary for this, you know, for her brand. Leah failed because the thing is, when you're a housewife, you need to have your brands out front and center the whole entire time and be as obnoxious as PK and Dorit were being with this brand new non-alcoholic champagne that we will get into later. But, yeah, but the thing is, you did?
I did. I can't find it.
It'll probably be soon. It's the quarantine delayed everything. But there's a little bit of like, she just kind of was like having a party in a basement. I think I've been to that club, like downtown. It's like over like on like 2nd.
And to that club.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like she just each lady as they walked in, and it was a different reaction of like uptown comes downtown. And it's kind of like, is this Bravo telling us we're going to go downtown next season? We're going to get some downtown girls, that kind of a thing, a little bit more of this vibe. I feel it like New York, the city. I mean, like these women, each one walked in and they were like, oh, this is going to be a deal. Okay, look at these rappers, you know. And then even Sonja, I'm friends with Leah. Like the way that she said it, like a gangster when she was coming down those stairs. Oh, yeah. I'm friends with Leah. I'm with Leah. Like, and then she just, but I'm sorry, Sonja does win. She got those one-liners. She dove into those men. Like she just saw like a pile of good-looking men, and she didn't care, black, brown, white, whatever. She's diving in, and she did. She literally sat down. You've had Captain Morgan. Now have you had Lady Morgan? Like, okay, girl, get in there, Sonja. But we need next year, I think if we go into this downtown situation of Housewives, which I'm here for it. I think it would be fun because the thing is New York is the last one that really is holding on to generational wealth when it comes to the Housewives. You know what I mean? Like everybody else's myth of generational wealth, like Dallas, we saw what happened with Deandra. Her mother didn't have any money. You know what I mean? Like it was all a facade when she handed over that company. And New York is the last one with a Morgan, you know what I mean? With Dorinda Medley, with these people who had money, who are associated, that they're now we have this Leah character who's made her own little fortune off of, you know, a lawsuit. You know, she came into money and she was smart with the money that she came into. She didn't just go spend.
Yeah.
Because we see in her apartment, we know she has IKEA furniture. She knows how to be frugal. So like, but the whole thing of it is like, we need to see some Latinas. I mean, we are in New York City, people. Let's get a Latina in there. We need to see an Asian downtown hipster. Like, give me a little bit of that now. You know what I mean? That these ladies who are so... Dorinda earlier this season talked about freaking Williamsburg like it was going to London. Like she was like, oh, me and Hannah have to get in a car. We're gonna... I recorded this travel show about Williamsburg. Bitch, you live 20 minutes away from Williamsburg. Go to Williamsburg. If you want, you go there and get a cupcake and come back. You know what I mean? But they refuse to leave that Upper East Side bubble. So it's something that this party showed kind of like, oh, there's a downtown vibe here that we could work with on the show. So
I think we also got with Leah with going to that bathhouse too. I don't think the ladies would have ever gone to that. Like,
yeah, that's true.
That too, and that was downtown.
I want to see them go to...
They showed that again too, because Leah went again, but she went with just her sister, right?
Yeah.
I think, like last couple episodes. Yeah.
That's where Leah's sister told her, "Mom hates you." Like, yeah. Mom hates you. And the thing is, I want to see more of that because that's the sister instigating between there. There is some family drama that we can get into. A Kyle and Kim Richards of it all. Somebody's jealous of the other one.
You stole my goddamn house.
Well, look at it this way. The fuck up in the family is getting everything, and she doesn't have it. The fuck up in the family is now giving her 15% of the company, is the stock in company, and like, you know, mom got up there. Okay, Dusty Bunny, oh, little Dusty Bunny, their mom, like Leah's mom, Dusty Bunny, walking in there and just being like, oh, it's great. Was she still eating rice cakes? Because it seemed like her cheeks were still full of food. Like, like when she can find food, she's gonna store it in those cheeks. But for the lady, and the thing is she's like the same age as like Dorinda and what's her name, and Ramona, but she just has a gait that's a lot older because she's like a weathered woman who just kind of, you know, is a mom, you know, that kind of a thing. So it's very funny of like how she gets up there and she did her like little speech on the mic. And that wasn't good enough for Leah because Leah's like, I want her to do that in front of the family. She just did it in front of the world. She just did it in front of the world, baby girl. Like, you gotta, you know, now say thanks, mom. That's it. You know, Nick's right there. So it's something. I don't know if there's anything else here in this episode. Oh, the Elise of it all. Elise versus Ramona. That Ramona keeps... she's doing what a housewife, the worst thing you can do as a housewife, and that is shut it down and give it no energy, because then it kills the storyline. But it seems like the editors and everybody here, the producers, they want to show this side of Ramona shutting it down and not, you know, not giving Elise any kind of due. And then Elise keeps on coming out with these things on her Instagram that like, hey, I've been friends with Sonja for decades. I've known Luann for a long time. I've been, you know what I mean? Like she's friends with everybody. So it's a little something. I don't know. Elise can stay as a friend of, though. I don't need her to be a Real Housewife. I don't feel like she gives me that energy. Yeah. It's nothing aspirational right now. You know what I mean? And that's our housewives have to come with a side of like aspiration, a side of like, ooh, I want that.
Last year.
Barb.
What was the name?
Hammer Time
last year.
Hammer Time Barb.
Oh, Barb, yeah. Ugh.
Barbara with the wrap dresses. Yes, she was a one. You know what I mean? That's
she
a one.
Came across my TikTok feed, and I was like, ew. Like,
go
away.
Okay, speaking of housewives on TikTok, and we're going to transition out of this in a second, but Jill Zarin's TikTok, do you ever watch it?
Yeah.
The transitions are so bad, and like she tries to make these videos of her like jumping in the air like they do and landing in a different outfit, and it's like and it's so cut so badly, and it's like totally Allie being like, "Mom, it's great, let's go." You know what I mean? Like it just there's no PR person that's doing that for her as compared to other people. So let's flip into the people who do have PR people. Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
So whose team are you guys on right now?
Angry.
I don't know. I don't know whose team I'm on. Like, it's so confusing. So I think so.
Team Denise, team everybody else.
Team everybody else, I think. Right now.
Yeah, I feel like Denise she just needs to come out and say something. Yeah. Like,
she just needs to just like, in the words of Lisa Rinna, own it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that whole situation. But at the same time, I'm staying on Denise's side only because nobody else had anything else going on this year. There was nothing else happening that we aren't focused on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it was all of this. Yeah. Like, I mean, was that Buca de Beppo going to be like the best story that we had? No.
Rinna gave us wigs and a daughter who doesn't eat. I mean,
right? Yeah.
Let's get
I feel
into
like
it.
There was almost something with Kyle and Garcelle, but it was shut down so quickly.
Yeah, it was shut down really quickly. I feel like like so that could have been something.
That could have went on further, but the producers were probably like, "Okay, we have this Denise thing instead. This is going to be way bigger. So just pretend you just like her." So.
Yeah,
there is something to be said about the unreal of it all, like the TV show Unreal. That's what I'm going to refer to here. So the Lifetime 4-season drama that you can now see on Hulu. It's the reason why we like Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, because if you were watching Canada's Drag Race, you don't like Jeffrey Boyer Chapman.
But
if you watch Unreal, if you watch Unreal, then you like
Unreal.
And that's why I respect him, and I will still stay a fan because I'm going to act like the other stuff didn't happen. But anyways, so the unreal of it all is that like how they're showing, you know, these different things. Okay, I'm very convinced production knew Denise was not coming downstairs while Garcelle and Chocolate Michael were waiting.
They definitely knew. They had to know for sure. So
and they were just going to keep Garcelle there, hungry. Yeah. And they wanted to see if Garcelle was going to get pissed and do something.
I mean,
and
she was pissed for sure. So.
She was pissed, but she wasn't a girl who wowed out on her friends.
No, she didn't go. Yeah, she didn't pull that crazy. Shit.
Yeah.
But also, why was Denise in a hotel though? Is what I want to know. Why were they picking her up from a hotel and not like her Malibu home? Like,
because she was shooting downtown. She was shooting down there. You know, travel times in LA and that sort of thing. So she's a working actress. That's the thing about Denise is that.
For sure.
She's always like, she's right now in Spain shooting.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So like, Denise stays paid and Denise stays working, and so I have a feeling that she was down there, or even sometimes she that was supposed to be where she was getting her makeup and stuff done. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a little bit something there. Okay, and also in that scene, so we have Garcelle and Chocolate Michael sitting there. And they gave us all this stuff about how a ring and how big of a ring and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
15 minutes later, he's gone. Yeah, exactly, Gunther. They were like, she realized she didn't want him anymore.
Well, that's Garcelle's fault. Did you see that when she was at the party, though, she's actually flirting with the cater waiter. Like, she kept seeking him out. Like, she remembered him. Like, she wanted the cater waiter. I'm so certain she's probably dating that cater waiter right now. Or she's done something with him.
There was rumors, and I can't remember who else that she's been linked to. I can't remember. Yeah. I did see this, though, this week. Garcelle and Larry David had a thing. Like Larry David, like Seinfeld Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm Larry David.
What?
Like, yeah. So,
I do not want to think about that at all. I'm sorry.
Right. And apparently, so in the gossip game here, so this has been like It was like an Us Weekly, and I saw it somewhere else on social medias and whatnot. And then I like looked it up. But Larry Kramer has gained. Or Larry David, I'm sorry, Larry Kramer. Larry Kramer's gay. Larry David is not. And so Larry David, okay, he apparently they were at the same Hollywood party. And they had met and they had been kind of like making eyes across the room, and she just basically was attracted to his energy or some crap like that. And then Garcelle, at this point, they did have a moment where they did have an interaction over near the bar, and he was like, well, you know, give me your number, blah, blah, blah. And so she was like, well, are you going to take it down? He was like, no, I'll remember it. So she told him her number. And then they just kind of parted and they were doing the whole Hollywood party thing. And then later in the evening, when they were like leaving in valet, he was standing across across the way from her. And when they met eyes, and he looked at her and he mouthed her phone number back to her.
Oh,
That's baller game. That is somebody who's been in Hollywood and knows their way around. So that says something about Larry David. So like that he remembered her phone number at the end of the night. So they haven't really said what else had happened in that situation, but that's just like that's what Garcelle tracks.
Still that's weird. She likes old white men. She likes
so does everybody else on this series. like Kyle. So but anyway, so that that whole Garcelle of it all. Okay, so going in also over into the that whole scene was Sutton in her store with Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And Sutton's trying to act like she likes Kyle's clothes.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's like, oh, this is great. We're gonna put it in the window. That sparkles always attract something. And like, when she said that, she wanted to throw up in her own mouth. She's like, sparkle. Oh no, Jeremy is that her gay assistant? She's
I don't know.
I don't want to touch this anymore. Put this on the mannequin. Like, it was so give me that energy of like, oh, I guess I'm gonna do this for Kyle. So now it's like Kyle by what's her name? Shahida by
Shahida.
Kyle
Something.
by Shahida by Sutton.
Yeah.
Two. Like and by Sutton too. Like it's like Kyle by Shahida and Sutton too. That's what we're gonna call this line now. Ew, and that whole thing in the finale when they were like, since the pandemic, Kyle's clothes have been flying.
Well,
they're all pajamas. That's why. Because I too need a kimono with a phoenix on the back when I want to reorganize my closet. Like it's just something I need in my life. So I just love that. I'm sorry, you guys too. I think Sutton needs another season. I think Sutton, her bitch flower is gonna bloom, you guys. It's kind of
possibly, but I think she had a really bad first year. I mean,
we all hated.
She's up there with Carlton and Joyce. Like, you're a first-year girl. Get the fuck out now. Like, bye.
See, I don't know.
They just liked her for her money, though. Like, she had the jet that brought him to New York.
She did, like, yeah. So
she has the money to be a housewife. She just doesn't have the personality, I feel.
No,
I don't think it's so bad. I think she's very guarded. I think there's a very guardedness of her.
But you can't do that, though, when you're going to be on the show, I think. You can't be... I mean, even Denise was a little guarded, too, I would say, last year, and she finally stepped up. You know, when Camille stepped up to her, you know, when she's like, fuck off, Camille, and they showed that. Like, that was great. Because I know last year we were kind of snoozing on Denise a little.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't think of a worse first-year housewife, like I said, other than Joyce and Denise and even Catherine. Remember we got Catherine like halfway through, and she was only there because the OJ thing was going on. So they kind of cross promote it a little. So it was like, whatever.
I have a feeling though, because she's gonna start talking for herself, because she did have little moments where she swiped at the other girls.
She did get the best moment. She did get the best moment of the episode, I think, with Brandi, which was "Learn to shut your mouth." I thought that was amazing.
You always so controversial, like like that whole thing, and nobody else has ever asked Brandi that. Like nobody else has ever been like, "Do you really need to be this person?" Like, is what they're essentially saying.
Yeah,
I don't think
more of that. That would be great.
I don't think Brandi will get a diamond. I think Brandi, they're going to keep her like in this Danielle Staub thirsty ass role, so she keeps this shit up. They'll have her on showing up at parties late.
Why did she leave, or why was she not asked to come back while she was on? Did she choose to leave? Like, I don't know
because Vanderpump got rid of her.
What's up?
Yeah. After she hit Vanderpump, they got rid of her.
All right.
She slapped
It was that, and also like the whole lawsuit with the Maloofs. It was controversy after controversy, and then she also the Joanna Krupa of it all. When Miami Housewives, which needs to come back, Miami Housewives needs to come back.
Leah Black.
Yes, Leah Black. I mean, put her. Why she lives in freaking LA? Why isn't Leah Black on Beverly Hills yet? She knows everybody. She knows.
She would be amazing.
Yeah, it makes no sense that Leah Black isn't here. But there was a whole lawsuit that happened between Brandi Glanville and Joanna Krupa because Brandi said on Watch What Happens Live one night that Brandi has a smelly choo-choo. But she didn't say it that way. And then that was Joanna was like, that's going to cause me to lose gigs and blah, 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 blah. And then Joanna kept the narrative going on. So that's what Joanna is now known for, is having a smelly cuckoo. So she should have never made a big deal about it. But so that became a whole thing too. So Brandi just became a liability to Bravo, I think.
Gotcha.
And she don't got money like these other girls.
But they brought her back though, so that's got to say something. So I mean, not so much of a liability that they wouldn't bring her back. You know,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a Camille situation. Let's bring her back each season, trot her out. You know, I think we needed Camille back. What I would love to see, because Denise trotted Camille out because she had nobody else to talk to.
That would be great to have Camille back next season. Yeah, if we get rid of Teddy, Kyle, and I'm sorry, I say Sutton, unless Sutton's gonna step her game up. But I would say get rid of those three girls, bring back Camille, and
I would keep Kyle if they bring Camille back. And
that's true.
If we get a Camille, Denise, Garcelle versus the other ones, and then Dorit is the sideline hoe. Like
I think the only thing Kyle has to offer us is her house at this point, because she's got a great house and she throws the great parties. That's it. That's all she has to offer us. Like
the other thing is, she's a linchpin though for everybody.
Yeah.
She's a linchpin to bring Brandi back in because Brandi and Kim are such good friends.
That's true.
Don't Brandi and Kim? Yeah, Brandi and Kim. Don't they both give you that energy of those girls that you were kind of afraid of in high school that would smoke in the bathroom? Like, don't they? They kind of like give you that like oh, she's been fucking like 3 college guys and guys from the town over. Like that
doesn't threaten me. Like, I don't know. Kim's not scary to me at all, I don't think. Like,
I think Kim has nothing to lose.
She has nothing to lose, but I'm not interested in seeing any more of her.
I heard this earlier this week, and I wish I remember exactly who I heard it from or like where I heard it, but damn it. But the whole thing of like, if Denise needs to know this, and that is like, it was Gabrielle Union in her book. So Gabrielle Union, in Gabrielle Union's book, she admits to the whole cheating thing, that she had cheated on the ex or whatever. And then she gives tips to cheating. And one of her things that she says in these tips is that don't cheat with somebody who has less to lose than you. And that's what Denise did. She went with Brandi, and Brandi has nothing to lose. Yeah. And so that's our big problem here. And that's why Denise just needs to admit it. And then everything else will just be like, and so I called you cold, Erica. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
what
are you going to do about it?
That's the whole thing. That's what I'm waiting for, is for Denise to say, I did say that. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Because the thing is we based the whole entire season off of that.
Yeah.
Erica had a boring ass season. You know what I mean? Like, Erica, it was all about Chicago and about driving a fast car.
I am kind of bummed about the whole Chicago thing. Like, they went there, they went and saw the show, they went on stage, they gave her flowers, and they didn't show any of that. And I feel so bad for Erica, because this whole season, you're like, as a fan of Erica Jane, you want to see that if you couldn't go to the show. I was able to go to the show and see that, thank God, before the pandemic. But I was so bummed for her. I felt so bad. They they did a really shitty job of that.
Yeah, I wanted to see that too. Actually, to be honest with you, like I thought we were gonna get more of them and
like some rehearsal.
I think if they would have had more though, with if they wouldn't have made Denise the subject, they made Denise the subject of the season.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
this finale too was kind of Erica. So
Erica should have took the bait with Garcelle and be like, "Yeah, Lisa, stop trying to make this about you when it's about me."
But Lisa, but that's the thing.
It.
Her and Rinna are actually really good friends, though. That's the thing. So I don't think that was ever going to happen.
Play the game. Play the game, because Rinna and Denise were also good friends too, and look what she did to that.
That's true, and I do believe that conspiracy theory that you have. I believe that Rinna and Denise set this whole thing up. Like, I mean, when you said that, I was like, I believe that. Like, I do not buy that. Like, that is, I see that totally for sure happening.
So, kids, Nelson's bringing up our text messages again. So, what I had said in a text message this week was that I feel that these two soap opera queens did this. They orchestrated this. They know what the fuck is going on, and they know where their paycheck is coming from. So let's do this. And the next year, let's make up. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling next year, let's make up. And this is a perfect year to make up with somebody after the pandemic. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
We did her drive-by birthday, and we made up, and you know what I mean? You can paint a really beautiful picture, and the public will believe it. They're going to take on to it because it's, you know, that this is where the housewives are. And we want to believe that these people are really our friends. You know?
Because when we think about it, those two got the most airtime out of anyone this season was Denise and Lisa. It was always Denise and Lisa and what they're doing. So
I just have a feeling that Denise basically said, hey, she was open with Rinna and told Rinna that she had hooked up with Denise or with Brandi at some time. And then Lisa was like, let's make that a thing if that comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm interested to see where this all is gonna like kind of come down to, and I'm hoping we get the girls back. I'm hoping we get those girls.
Yeah.
I feel like when Denise called Rinna to go over to her house towards the very end, I feel like that's right after she got done filming that infamous look that she did.
Yeah.
Like, are you ready? Because you see the green screen behind her and everything, and her hair was the same way.
Well, there is that rumor that they basically said that was all shot way after everything was in the can, and they basically, the producers realized we don't have anything, because that's why they also cut off the season. The producers
we didn't get that moment either, too. Like, as fans, when they showed that in all the previews, we never got that moment actually on the season where they're like, Denise, are you ready to talk about everything? You know, because they made it seem all so dramatic that she left, and like we didn't get any of that. So I was kind of a little annoyed.
I'm waiting to see what they will trot out.
And who do you think? I clearly the producers told Rinna about the cease and desist.
Yeah, totally. They totally told her about it.
That they were like Denise was very off guard when Lisa mentioned that. Like, you could see it in her eyes.
She didn't say no. She didn't say yes. Yeah. She went, "Who told you that?" Like, and it was like that whole scene was so soap opera because it was like, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Like, and it was like, okay, so there's a camera there. There's a camera there. How am I gonna sit? Okay.
Did you get that?
We didn't hear the last 5 minutes.
That was a fun moment. That was really fun.
Now we can hear you well.
It's my phone?
Hello?
There we go. Yay.
Okay. So what I was saying is that this whole scene was very much set up like it was a soap opera. She had her Balenciaga bag sitting next to her, splayed out. She was like, the camera's over here. You guys can see me over there. Good. You can see Lisa? Okay, good. I will make sure. Okay, it's camera 2, camera 1. Okay. you're so angry. You know what I mean? Like, it was very much like they knew where their light was. They knew where that camera was.
Oh,
everything
they knew.
perfectly. It was a soap opera scene. And those two women.
In there either. That line was stupid. You're so angry.
Like, it was really stupid because it seemed planned. It didn't seem organic, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it seemed really good in the teaser of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then when you see it in its context,
yeah,
you're like,
oh.
You sent a cease and desist, Denise. And she's like, who told you that? you know? Ooh.
Yeah. I think this whole season was a good season. That finale just didn't leave much up to it. It just sucks because, like, you know, like when we saw the preview, I just remember being so excited, being, oh my God, this is going to be such an amazing season. And it was until we got that really shitty finale, I think. And the thing that is not great about this is they shot a really long time. Like, they went into December, which they normally don't do, which I'm not opposed to, by the way. If they go back and we get like a Beverly Hills Christmas next season, I would love to see that. That's great. But it seems like they shot a really long time and they didn't get anything, which seemed to be the issue though too. Like, I remember reading like Inquirer magazines and like gossip things saying, hey, they're not getting a lot from these girls this season, unfortunately. So that's why they brought people back like Camille and Elaine and
everybody can't be friends. That's the problem.
Yeah, everyone can't be friends. You're absolutely right.
You need to have one like spoiled apple in there. You know what I mean? And like and you have villains from the past who are now. Look at Camille or Dorit. You love her now. You know what I mean? Like, they've shown the softer side. Like, we're cool with her kids now, interrupting her making a thing. Like, in the past, I hated that little Jagger kid. And now, and then Phoenix is like, I'm about to watch Phoenix's cooking show. Let's make apples. You know what I mean? Like, they've done a 180 with Dorit. That whole character, she's made herself like the fashion plate. She's a Barbie. You know what I mean? And then PK
Dorit is the MVP of the season because look, we also ended the season with her closing the party. Usually that goes to Kyle.
Yeah.
So we got Dorit, even though it's supposed to be her housewarming party, we still got her doing the party. Like, she's the new Supreme.
Well, the thing is, it also shows you too that if Denise would have went, we would have finished at the party.
That's true.
That would have been our finale because we always end on a party. But Denise
got like a huge blow up though.
A huge blow up. We would have got our Jerry fucking Springer moment that we wanted.
But we didn't get any of that because
we didn't get any of that. So
they weren't willing. The girls were not willing to give, and so
the reunion hopefully will give it to us. So we'll see.
What Beverly Hills needs, they need like 2 to 3 villains. They can't be relying on
one. Yeah, they need to.
Because what ends up happening is that these girls have now figured out how to gang up on somebody and kick them out.
Yeah,
is really what they do.
That's all you're doing is like ganging up and kicking them out. You want them to stay at least for a redemption.
Yeah,
if you want a redemption, or you want like you want a Kenya more. You know what I mean. You want somebody who's going to come at the girls, take a moment off, come back. You know what I mean? Like, but that girl has other friends.
Kenya's never been a good person. She's always been a villain.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is that's what you need? Is that somebody who holds that down really, really well? So it's just something. The whole PK of it all, like him and Dorit, like he's even become a little bit more stomach. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even want to jump into this fight. Like, where he's like, this has nothing to do with us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? We're on the good side now, is basically what he wanted to tell her. Like people finally like us. They're not calling me a pig every day. Please stop. It was that energy. So, okay. So going over to another season. So let's jump over because I know we want to make sure that you can get to work in a little bit. Let's talk about Potomac, and let's talk about, we have a villain over there, and her name is Candiace. And the thing is, and that's a good villain because the thing is she's got plants, she's got people that she has that she's being friendly with and that she's saying. Like this year we got her with the Ashley situation. So she and Ashley met at that like coffee shop. That awkward scene, Ashley trying to get her baby carriage in.
So bad. I was like,
I can't believe they filmed that.
Like
that
the
was
old
just
lady's
awful.
trying to like pull the chair out. Like
they did that on purpose to her. They were like, oh, she bringing the crib. She's gonna bring the whole stroller. Okay, move the chairs. You know they did that right before she came in there, and Candace was like sitting in the furthest place that this girl can get to. Yeah. But I love that Ashley brought a baby to a fight. like she, and I was thinking to myself as I was watching this, I was like, we need this on More Housewives, where like you have Dorinda and like Ramona fighting, but one of them is holding a baby the whole time. and let's see what happens. Like that would be fun.
I thought the exact opposite. I was like, she needs a fucking nanny. We need her to be under. Like we need to get rid of this baby.
See,
like get rid of the baby.
I was into Baby Gollum. Like, you know, we got Baby Yoda in Star Wars. We got Baby Gollum on Potomac. Like, it's cute. So you can take something that's real ugly and make it cute when it's baby size. So like baby Gollum. And then the thing is, Candace keeps on talking about the baby. Well, he's starting to look like her here, and we're gonna hope that the baby looks more like Ashley. Like, dude, this baby needs to turn out like Ashley. It's a whole thing.
That's a compliment for Ashley, though.
It really is. But that whole scene, I'm waiting to see, like, is this friendship gonna last between the two of them? You know what I mean? And Candace isn't really putting things to bed. She's like saying sorry. And then when they show her in the confessional, it's always like a sorry, but with a knife in the back. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be like this now. You know, it's very much that energy. And I don't know. It's, I don't love it. Like, I don't love that Candace energy right now. Her husband. Ew.
He needs a shave.
Maybe.
like his beard's gross.
Like he needs to like trim it a little bit, do something.
Like, he needs to have a shape to it or something. Yeah.
I was like, ew.
Yeah, like in that whole thing, like, you know, he's like, oh, I do want kids, and the thing is, she's like not sure still, and it's like, okay, we got the storyline, we got it. I mean,
and that's totally fine if you don't want to have kids, I think, but
he already has some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then like I think you should just be like, you know what, I don't think we're meant to have children, and that's fine, and then just live your life and be a good stepmom. Like, stop giving us this angst. Like,
yeah, true. That's the thing is, and I think what it's doing though is it's softening her and it's giving her something for people to like, because she doesn't come off as very likable at all. I mean, like we've said in the past, her mom doesn't like her.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of that. Speaking of people not liking each other, Giselle's kids don't like their dad, and like Giselle just needs to it seems like she's trying to push to be with Jamal because she wants to, like, for the kids, but the kids don't even want it. They don't trust.
The kids are not about it at all. No,
they don't. They know what their mom went through, and I think it was probably a lot darker than they've ever talked about on the series.
For sure.
But the girls are basically like, we don't want this, Mom. You don't have to do this. We're not down.
We're not about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we would.
I mean, I'm glad she's giving it a shot, though. I mean, so that, you know, she's able to grow, you know, and be like, hey, I really like the man that he's grown into. I think us together now at this time is more compatible. I mean, that says something, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Giselle's storyline is like really boring. Like, it's all about kids. Like, she really has nothing else this season so far.
There's nothing.
Well, she's supposed to get in a fight tomorrow, right? Like, they show a fight with her and.
There was that, but I did like the scene with her and her hairdresser, which was cute and humanizing. Like, I thought that, you know, when he talked to her and she kind of like, it kind of like he was coming through to her, like, you don't need to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's just she's so pretty, you guys. I like watching her.
No, I think she's so pretty, but here's the thing that annoys me with Giselle. I feel like she always gets something wrong. Like, she either has like great hair and then the dress is wrong, or, you know, the dress is great and she has bad hair. And it's like, girl, get it to fucking together. You have a gay working for you and he's doing stuff for you, but like, I don't know. She just needs to elevate a little bit, learn to edit. I don't know.
Here's the situation. So, like, you know how when you were a kid and you would really want like Lucky Charms, but then you would go to the store, your mom would be like, no, you got to get the Lucky Chomes. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, it wouldn't be exactly.
You get the Lady Lee brand, girl. That's what you get, right?
So it's kind of like Housewives of Potomac really wanted Vanessa Williams.
Yes, but they got Giselle.
But they got Giselle Bryan instead. So it tastes good, it's cute, but it don't come in the same packaging. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
And that's Giselle. She don't come in the same packaging as a Vanessa Williams. Like, there's something a little bit off, you know? Like,
but it was funny because even her hairdresser, remember when she picked that wig, he's like, I'm not playing with this wig. And she was like, no, you're gonna play with the wig. I was like, okay, girl. Like, you were just like,
you need to throw that away.
you were hurting yourself here right now.
So I mean, she's very much our good value Vanessa Williams. So that's what Giselle is. Like. She's like. So I mean, but I love her, and she's pretty, and she had that whole like cute scene with her daughter with her daughter trying to dance. Woo! And then speaking of dancing, Karen Huger in her pink Pepto-Bismol suit, dancing to Beyonce, but they couldn't put the Beyonce music on because Bravo's not paying for Beyonce music. So like,
no, they're not.
So they just it was like boom, 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 and she's.
But we know, like, if you're Beyonce, you're like, okay.
she came into that party with all these ladies going to get information. Like,
oh my God. That party was this kind of like a wreck too. Like, why do you have aerial dancers hanging from like 3-ring hoops that are like 5 foot from like the ground? What is the point of that? Like, you could have spent your money on something else, I think. Like, that was just a waste of money.
All that entertainment was favors. You know that those are favors.
It was
so Karen Huger has that assistant Matt, and if you follow him on Instagram, he is he's always got a housewife with him. Like, I don't exactly understand what he does. I have a feeling that he worked for Bravo at some point and got in with a few housewives, and now like is their assistant for media appearances, but since he lives close to Karen, so he just comes over, and it's giving him
out.
Yeah,
it's so creepy.
It's giving him clout. Oh, look at his Instagram; it's even cute. It's creepier. But there's just like there's a whole thing there where she's, like, I felt like that man who came over and sang "The Grand Dame has returned."
That was so weird. That was awful.
Like, that whole thing. I mean, that and probably those aerialists who were in like white t-shirts or whatever. Like, they weren't even sexy aerialists. They were just kind of there.
It was awful.
Those were all free. You know that those were all free. That was somebody calling a company like ours and being like, hey, can you sponsor something? And when you don't put any money forth, that's the kind of talent you get. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly. It was like, oh, we can send you somebody who's not booked on a Friday night. Why ain't he booked on a Friday? It's kind of like when one of these promoters call. Okay, so Nelson knows this more so than you guys. But a promoter will call you on a Saturday night and be like, "Hey, I forgot to book somebody. Can you dance tonight?" And you're like, "No, I'm dancing 3 other parties." And the thing is, well, like, they can't find anybody. They can find people, but they can't find good people.
They can't find good people. Yeah,
that's the same thing that's happening here at this party. Is that she could have paid for this entertainment? It could have been good. That could have been a sexy girl with a snake hanging off of a lyra, like in the middle of the yard.
Yeah,
that maybe has something to do with them. Maybe somebody dressed like a deer because they want to make deer happen in Potomac so much. They show a deer in every damn episode. But like, it could have been a person dressed like a deer, But no, they didn't pay for this entertainment. So it was like, you gonna get Sheila with the white t-shirt in the ring. Like, that's what they got. So that, I mean, that's
bad.
It's very much that. That party, though, it was cute enough. I mean, the fact that they sent that invitation out and everybody's like, do you throw a housewarming for a rental? Like, and I was like,
shade.
Here's the thing. That's what we need out of our Real Housewives, though.
Yeah.
Is that level of delusion and shade.
But can we talk about Robin being the MVP coming in with the fucking pizza? At first, I was
that was hilarious.
Why the fuck is she in with pizza? Because first of all, Robin's just late all the time. But you're like, girl, why are you late? And then you're like, I was like, why is she bringing pizza to a house? And then I was like, it took me a minute to get it. I was like, okay, that's really shady, but really funny.
So those of you guys who are tuning in right now, we were talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. And in this Housewives of Potomac scene, Robin, the late one, who's always a little bit sleepy, shows up to the party looking banging. She looked great.
She looks great, yes.
With pizza, eating a piece of pizza. And this is an homage to when Karen got her house that was in the middle of nowhere, that was nowhere in near Potomac last time. And the girls basically were convinced that she didn't live there, that she was renting a house that was set up specifically to shoot her scenes for Housewives, and that she was living in an apartment somewhere. So that's what they are talking about right now, is that Robin shows up with this pizza, and it was exactly a parallel of what had happened before. They show a little preview of that, but if you haven't watched Potomac, because I know a lot of people are just starting to tune into Potomac and get with it, but that was cute. That was a cute entrance. That's the reason why we keep a Robin, because she's boring other than that.
I do have to say this about Robin,
and she's good in the reunions. I want to say she's clocking in. So
yeah, what are you saying?
But one of my favorite scenes though was Robin and Wendy, and I hope that friendship blossoms and Wendy becomes friends with her and Giselle. That would be a power. Triple, quadruple, or whatever it is. Yeah. Like that would be so
I did like
good.
that.
They're making us like Wendy a lot. They show us with their kids. She's smart. They did a dance for no poop. Like they need to teach that dance to the Real Housewives of New York, specifically Ramona, to dance for no poop. They need to teach Ramona how to dance for no poop. Okay. So but yeah, when Robin showed up and they were like, okay, these two women, I don't got cash. Do you got cash? Yeah, here.
Here's $5. Go buy something for everybody.
The ice cream truck. And that was cute too. And she was like, your sons are beating up my sons. Like they're taking him down. But it was cute. But that was also Wendy knew who to talk to. She knew to talk to this one because it's going to get back to Giselle. So then Giselle can acknowledge it, that was a moment too in the party, because after these two went and they talked, and then she basically said, Candia said this, and this about all of y'all. She said that Giselle's a monster. And then when Giselle actually in the party got to confront her about it, which is also something too that is Beverly Hills needs to learn from these girls. Pull the bitch aside at the party, get in her face, have it out, move on to the next subject, and not talk about this for 18 episodes. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Like if Kyle, if somebody called Teddy a monster, Teddy would milk for 8 episodes. Period.
And then this screen time.
And then this Giselle's like, we're at the party, let's go, let's get it popping. Let's talk about you calling me a monster. Well, I didn't mean it in a bad way. What way did you mean it?
You a monster?
When she said, I didn't mean to call you a monster in a bad way. It was just I called you a monster. It was very that energy. But and she squashed that real quick. This is gonna come back and bite her in the ass. Yeah. But it feels like Giselle's also taking her under observation. I'll just say it that way. Is that because it's the moment that this thing pops off between Monique and Candace, she gonna jump on Candace or on Monique's side because she already got a beef with Candace because she said something. So it'll be something fun to watch. I don't know. I think that was kind of it for the episode. The stuff that really popped off.
That was it. I think. Yeah.
So they're building towards something that I think will be fun. I have a feeling they're going to give us a lot, though, this season. They showed that little preview for where they're going to all go out to Monique's house in the middle of nowhere. They all keep on saying, well, she's got this great lake house in the middle of nowhere. That's the reason why you have a lake house, you idiots, is to get away. You get a lake house to go away, to get away from people. So, but they go out there, and then they also have, the whole thing where Michael went out to a stripper bar. Come on. Don't make that the whole subject and get on Ashley's case about that. Yeah. Bring the receipts of him on Grindr again or something. You know what I mean? Him going to a strip club with his friends isn't a big deal. And don't villainize that and don't make that a thing so then people in the real world, talk about going to strip clubs like it's a bad thing.
It's kind of like a Peter Cynthia thing too. Like it's already been done.
True, it has, and the thing is and all of that. But the thing is, Michael's done worse. Michael's done worse. We had a whole season about it last season.
I think Peter did a lot. We just didn't see it all.
Yeah, probably.
He was fucking a lot of his staff.
Well, that, yes. But I mean, like, Michael on camera has been, grabbing people's butts and stuff like that. So, maybe I shouldn't have said that while I had the mic on. Yeah, you shouldn't have said you wanted to suck his dick with the mic on. Like, yes. Like, you had a mic on. That's what happens, And that's the thing about Potomac, too, is they don't realize they have their mics on, because we saw that last week when they did that whole date, when they did the Dateline footage of, of the girls with, they're showing the street scenes and they're having the girls talk like the mic, like Dateline. So, but that was it. That was kind of all the stuff that was happening this week. So, flipping around, we are going to be wrapping this up. But what have you guys been binging this week?
I started Brothers and Sisters.
I've never watched an episode of that. What is it about?
It's on ABC. It was on ABC. Sally Field, Ellie McBeal, tons of Treat Williams.
Isn't Lorelai Gilmore on that?
What?
Is Lorelai on that? Like from Gilmore Girls?
No.
No.
She might come on it.
I don't know.
The girl from
Revenge. But wasn't Brothers and Sisters a spinoff of another show though that they had on ABC for a minute? I thought no. Revenge.
It's basically about this family. The father dies, and he had an affair for 30 years with this woman. They end up having a child together, and all these secrets start coming out. And kids.
It's a really good ensemble cast. The girl from 6 Feet Under was in it. The one that played Brenda. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's really, really good.
So, they got a good ensemble cast. Yeah.
6 seasons.
Oh damn, you were in for a little long haul then, because ABC doesn't fuck around. They have like 25 episodes a season.
There's 23 episodes.
Oh, fun. So maybe I'll check that out eventually.
It's really good.
I did Project Runway just because I want to feel a little creative and have a little fashion in my life. So I just finished season 15 today.
Which one was that?
It's the one where Aaron won. So it was Aaron.
The rock and roll kind of guy?
What's up?
The rock and roll kind of guy?
Yeah, the black. No, Aaron, the girl. She was a Mormon.
Oh,
yeah. From Massachusetts. Yeah, so this is season 15. So, but it was really good. I hate sometimes, when the designer you want to win doesn't win. And then it's like that person, you're like, whatever. But it was fun. It was a good season. So.
Have you kept up with it in real time, Project Runway? Or you?
No, I haven't actually. So. Yeah.
Me too. I've kept up with it too. I do too. I like
not a designer or anything like that. I just love it.
I think it's wonderful. And the thing is, Project Runway is one of those shows too that mad respect, because it's one of the most diverse reality casts.
Yeah.
And it's been that way since season 1. We've always had people of all kinds of backgrounds and genders
because in the beginning it was on Bravo, remember? That's why. So I mean, that's what was very diverse. So.
But they've always kept it. Heidi Klum made sure that when she was executive producer that it kept that up. Is that you had, because Bravo does not keep. Look at their cast right now. We got Garcelle 10 years in is finally the first black lady on a white show.
That's true.
Yeah. So we have and. Look at New York. The most diverse woman is Luann because she's brunette. Everybody else is there's issues there. So but Project Runway, that's cute because I watched that in real time. When you get to the newer seasons right now, I don't like Zach Posen as a guest judge though. Like when you were used to Michael Kors, like Michael Kors is so crazy and outlandish. I loved everything he would say, but Zach Posen was just super boring to me. And also with the new setup now, they don't have Tim Gunn and Heidi anymore, which is super disheartening because I think they made that show. They made it, but I think what's his name?
Christian Siriano, right? Does it now?
Christian is wonderful.
He's really good.
Is so good in that role.
I don't care for Carly Kloss though. I mean, come on, she's married to a Kushner. Let's get her off Bravo. Let's get her off Lifetime.
Watch that. The thing is she's made him the black sheep of that Kushner family. So there's a whole thing in the most recent season where one of the designers goes, well, I mean, like it's you know, it doesn't always have to be for the occasion. I mean, like when you're going to dinner with the Kushners, how's that? And he acknowledges it. And Carly looks like she got hit in the face by a fish. Like she's just like, wow. And I think he gets booted because she just hates him. Yeah, and so because he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take the swipe because I'm gonna make it happen." But she doesn't. I don't find her terrible on the show. I can take her or leave her. I think Christian Siriano is what really makes the show because he gives it heart, and he's a working designer who's
a working designer. Yes,
who's dressed the most amazing people. You know what I mean?
For
and
sure,
like, and size and shape and everything else doesn't matter to Christian. So. He's wonderful in that role. I kind of wish it was Tim Gunn that took the Heidi role, and Christian would be the guy in the thing. That would be a killer duo, I think. Those two gay men.
Speaking of models, did you see who the new host of Dancing with the Stars is?
No,
Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited.
She's now an executive producer.
Tom Bergeron is
Tom's leaving the show. I mean,
and Erin Andrews too. Is Erin Andrews gone?
Yeah.
She was fucking awful. Oh my god, Erin Andrews. I could not stand her. I was like, get off already, please. I think Tyra Banks will be really great. I
think she's gonna fit in so well with that competition. Like it's so zany and like
Burke is great. Does Brooke Burke live in LA? If Brooke Burke lives in LA, can we get her on Housewives?
I hate Brooke Burke.
I love Brooke Burke.
Dangilo, you're silent.
Oh, there we go. All right, time to go, girl. Bye.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Brooke Burke. She hosts this show called The Beast or whatever on it's like a game show kind of a thing.
Because she was the original Dancing with the Stars host with Tom Bergeron in the beginning. Yeah, and then she got fired, and they brought Erin Andrews on, who was shit. So
well, Tyra Banks has a producer credit on the show now. So they're changing the format of Dancing with the Stars. It's changing a bit. From what I understand, when I was reading a little bit about, is Tom Bergeron is too expensive. He was taking up a lot of the budget.
I mean, he was on the show for how long? 20 years almost?
He has nothing now.
20 seasons of being on that show. He was he bounced from like 10 seasons of America's Family Videos over to that. Like ABC, he's in the back pocket. He's doing something else. I bet you he's going to come out with another show.
He was really good on that show, though. Like on
he wasn't bad at all.
He was hilarious.
America loves him, and he's also one of those like white men who's not creepy. That's the thing.
He is. You're right about that. He's not creepy. He's really sweet, I want to say. So I went to a Jenny McCarthy book signing when I lived in LA at the Grove, because they shoot Dancing with the Stars on that same lot.
A Jenny McCarthy book signing?
Yes.
You went to this anti-vaxxer's book signing?
I did, because I like her. So but Tom Bergeron showed up to the book signing just to say hi, like real fast, and like Jenny was like ecstatic and super nice. So I don't know, it was
he's a super celebrity and somebody that you should respect in Hollywood. It's like some of those people who have had jobs for like years and years and years, like that's somebody who works well with others, apparently. You know what I mean? We don't have Ellen stories coming out about him.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you don't like so that has to say something good. Now wait, watch next week some story come out about Tom Bergeron. We have to take this episode down and be like, we hate Tom Bergeron too, guys. So okay, my recommendation for the week for binging, I just watched the first 2 episodes of Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah.
On HBO Max. It is incredible. It is it takes place in the 1950s. It's like a supernatural. It has a vibe of True Blood. That's what kind of it gives you that vibe but it takes place in 1950s. The protagonist is black, and we're gonna see where the superhero-ness goes. It has to do with like being like witches and wizards. I think is gonna break into it. There's blood eating stuff, almost like vampires. Watch it. It's different. And then It's on HBO Max. It's called Lovecraft. Yeah, Lovecraft Country. It's going to be the new show. It's going to be the new big thing on HBO that everybody's going to get addicted to, like Westworld, a la Game
We
of
watched
Thrones.
the first episode. We really liked it, so we got to catch up though and get on the second one. So maybe I'll probably take tomorrow with a third one. Will be great. So, but I do like the show a lot. It looks expensive. I mean, of course, everything HBO does is expensive.
And they're teaching. The show is teaching people on it because it's teaching you about things about like things that are like racism and all that kind of thing. It's giving a background and it's showing what people had to deal with, and they do it very subliminally, where the black people are at this gas station. They're treated like shit by the people that are there, and they go to leave, and they leave, and there's an Aunt Jemima big billboard. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, okay, so this is the background we're getting. So it's it's really, really good. I would say that's my number one recommendation of the week. I don't know if I've watched. I haven't really been watching that much TV in the sense of like anything that I've binged besides like I've been watching like Idiot Test. That's what we've been watching to like eat because it's like there's nothing, it's fluff, and that's kind of what we need in the world right now. So that's it. Okay, so thank you guys so much. It has been a good week, everybody. Follow Nelson on IG at Yas Queen, and that's with 2 A's, 3 S's, and a KW because she needs Hooked on Phonics. Send her money. And then we also have Gunther. You follow him on IG at Gunther Vander Rules, and you guys can follow him at TikTok at Gunther Vanderpump. He doesn't have private accounts because he needs the followers. So follow him, and you'll see all of his humorous stuff. And right now he's simulating sex on his TikTok. But
my followers, I'm like almost at 5,000 now.
Because you're simulating sex.
Because I started doing this sex thing where I'm like, look like I'm getting fucked. And like just doing, it's so funny. Like I'm like, my followers went up like 500 like in 2 days.
I did the same thing because I was just like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I saw your big bulge in your back of your car.
Oh, I didn't do that on purpose. But no. No, I did the one with the they say that hairy guys are more attractive, blah, 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 that thing. And I just did like the photo thing. That one's popping right now. That's like that one's getting me big numbers all of a sudden. So you guys can follow me at Dangilo on TikTok. And other than that, make sure you guys like and subscribe this show so we can keep on doing it. We're going to be moving over. We just shot 7 episodes of Anthony's new podcast. So I'm started editing that, and then Willis will be moving over to podcast soon. As soon as I get that in the can, though, because I can only do one thing at a time. So this is where we are right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much. This has been another episode of Binge. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Why does it still say those names? Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Good night from the lower level.